Some of the most revealing things President Trump has said about this war did not come from a prepared speech or a formal press conference. They came aboard Air Force One, just hours after he attended one of the most solemn ceremonies a president can witness. On March 7th, Trump traveled to Dover Air Force Base for the dignified transfer of 6 U.S. Army Reserve soldiers killed in a drone strike in Kuwait. 6 flag-draped transfer cases, 6 American families. One of the quietest, most sacred military traditions this country has. And before Trump even spoke to reporters, the ceremony itself had already become a political story. California Governor Gavin Newsom publicly blasted the president for wearing a white USA cap during the transfer, saying, in his words, "Take your hat off, you disgusting little man." Whether you agree with Newsom's language or not, the reaction captured something real. The image of that cap at that ceremony had already shifted the moment before a single question was asked. Then came the Air Force One exchange. And what Trump said is worth examining carefully. First, surrender. Trump has been demanding Iran's unconditional surrender. When reporters pressed him on what that actually means, he said it could mean Iran would cry uncle or simply be left unable to fight any longer. That is not careful diplomatic language. Unconditional surrender is the language of total defeat. It raises the stakes of everything that follows. Because once a president frames it that way, anything short of complete collapse can start to look like failure. The mission expands, the bar moves, and the public is left wondering where this ends. Then came the question about casualties, and this may have been the most sobering moment of the entire exchange. After returning from Dover, Trump was asked directly, would he expect to come back for more dignified transfer ceremonies? His answer was essentially yes. Because deaths, he said, are part of war. On one level, that is true. But on another level, it tells the public something significant. This White House is not talking like the conflict is winding down. It is talking like more loss is coming. When a president says that after standing at Dover, after watching 6 flag-draped cases come off a military transport, people hear more than realism. They hear preparation for more funerals, for more families getting that knock on the door. Then the conversation shifted to a strike on a girls' school in Minab, Iran, and the temperature changed immediately. Reuters has reported that US military investigators believe it is likely American forces were responsible for that strike. The investigation is still ongoing, and no final public conclusion has been presented. When Trump was asked about it aboard Air Force One, he suggested Iran may have done it themselves. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the matter remains under investigation. Allegations involving a school and child casualties do not stay inside classified briefings. They break through. They change the emotional weight of a war in ways that military briefings cannot contain. And when an administration appears evasive on questions like that, credibility starts to erode fast. There was also a question about Russia. Reports have emerged suggesting Russia may be sharing intelligence with Iran to help target US military personnel and assets in the region. Both AP and the Washington Post reported that Trump largely brushed the question aside, saying that if Russia was helping, it was not helping much. That is a striking answer in the middle of a war. If a rival major power is actively assisting forces targeting American troops, most presidents would treat that as a serious and urgent escalation. Trump treated it more like background noise. That sits in sharp contrast to his maximalist language about crushing Iran. The inconsistency is hard to miss, and it was one of the most revealing moments of the entire exchange. And then there was oil. Trump was asked whether he would consider tapping the strategic petroleum reserve as fuel costs rise. He pointed to the Biden administration for drawing reserves down previously and suggested any action would come later. No immediate move was signaled. That matters Because war in the Persian Gulf does not stay on the battlefield. It reaches gas prices, shipping costs, and household budgets very quickly. Voters do not only experience war through news headlines, they experience it at the pump. And treating those economic concerns as secondary can sound detached from the stress this conflict is already creating for ordinary Americans.